my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty consultant, and y'all, Char Girl said, are y'all tired of me and pillow talk and beauty wands? And we said, no, we're not. So I picked up all 4 of her new Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush wands. And because y'all know I love me a good comparison, we are comparing them with the oh so beautiful Danessa Myricks Blurring Balmed Flushed. Are y'all ready for the showdown? Because I cannot wait to get into it. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to click that subscribe button, join the Glam Girl Squad, because we'd love to have you. And let's get right into this video. Okay, let's go. So, like I said, I picked up all 4 shades of the new Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. These do retail for $42 a piece. They are available on the Charlotte Tilbury website. As of right now, when I'm filming this video, they might be heading to Sephora, but at this moment in time, I don't know when or if they will go there. We have 4 shades, and we do get a total of 10 milliliters of product. So getting into some product details, Char Girl says, darlings, ... blend and pop with my Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wands. And she says to give the cheeks a beautifying pop of color. She says that they are universally flattering, easy liquid blush wands that will lift and revive the look of every complexion, okay? So she says that they are infused with Lumi Blur technology, light reflecting pigments for a smoothing, soft focus finish. We also have Poreless polymers for a smoothing airbrush finish. And then lastly, we have a flawless film formers for a smooth, long-lasting effect. Okay, in terms of application, she says that if you want more of like a daytime look, just dot your cheek 1 time with these, blend. If you want a nighttime look, dot twice and blend. If you want to be like disco and do all things, blot 3 times and then blend. So I've already done a full review on the new Blurring Balm Flushed, so I will link that for you. But just to quickly give you an overview of these products, they are essentially the Blurring Balm powder with color. So they've got Upsolite in them that's gonna help to make the skin look really poreless, really blurred. This will also have more of a matte-like finish. In terms of application, you can apply these on your cheeks and your lips. You can also apply them with your fingers or a brush. And the best application for these is also by tapping. So upon reading the descriptions of these 2 products, I was like, they sound like they're doing and claiming the same things. That's why we need to see them both in action. So I will show you arm swatches of the Pillow Talk wands. You've already seen me apply them to the face. And just straight away, let's just take a look at the packaging here. I'll just hold it one because it'll be easier. These are very on par with her other beauty wands. So if you've had her highlighter wands or contour wands, she's got glowy wands like this. It's got this cushion type tip, which I honestly do not like. They're so messy. So you have to twist them to open them up, and then you twist them to close them. The problem is you can't control the amount of product that comes out. So if I even squeeze slightly, a lot's gonna come out, and then as you can see, I still have like a lot of product left on the tip. So, you know, it's gonna get in the cap. Like you can already see it here. I just wish there was a better way she could do this. There is a better way, but I think this is just what she likes. And usually the products are so beautiful that I can dismiss this. But like when I saw this again, I was like, can we change up this tip, please? Okay, so first swatch is going to be Dream Pop. So this shade right here. Then we have Peach Pop right here. We've got her famous Pillow Talk shade. And then we have lastly Pink Pop. So according to Miss Char Girl, all of these shades are supposed to be universally flattering, and they're gonna have a matte finish. And I know my swatches are crazy, but you guys get the hang of it, or you get the point of it. So let's talk about these new products first, and then we'll do the comparison. So straight away, I really enjoy the colors that she has here. I love that she incorporated some brighter tones and then also some softer kind of muted tones as well. I do like that we do have more warm tones here with Dream Pop and Peach Pop, and then some cooler tones here, neutral to cool, with Pillow Talk and Pink Pop. In terms of how they looked on my complexion, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that Pink Pop was gonna be one of my favorites, and it does look quite pale against my skin. Pillow Talk, I did imagine was going to look more neutral with like a hint of cool, just because I have the blush in Pillow Talk, and so I use that blush when I have more of a cooler tone type of look on my skin. So I wasn't shocked by the way that this looked on my skin, but I did think Pink Pop was going to be more, I guess, warm in its tone, and it's definitely a little cooler against my complexion. I'm not writing this one off yet, but I do think I will need to build up this shade when I wear it so it doesn't look maybe too cool toned against my complexion. I would definitely love to know your thoughts about this. And just for the record, I have all of the links for these products down below. I'd love for you to shop through my links because it does help my channel, but you don't have to shop through my links. They are there for you if you'd like. Okay, so Pink Pop, I like it, but I definitely was like, okay, you definitely are cooler in tone than I thought. I, however, really, really love the way that Dream Pop and Peach Pop looked against my complexion, and not so much solely because of the shades, but because of the warmth that these two shades have. I really, really liked how they look. I would say just straight away, if you have a deeper complexion and you are interested in these Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Wands, Blush Beauty Wands, I would definitely encourage you to look at Dream Pop and potentially Peach Pop. I think these are going to be the most complimentary for deeper complexions. And in all honesty, I think all four will work really well for lighter complexions and medium complexions. If you are tan, like around my shade range, I would say that it depends on the type of blush you like, because I do think that Pink Pop and Pillow Talk do look nice against my complexion, and depending on the look that I'm going for, these will work beautifully. However, if you do have more of like a warmer tan complexion, I don't know if these shades are going to be complementary for your complexion based on how you might like them. There's some people who really like a very nice flush of color. They don't really want anything too intense, anything too warm. They do like more of like a neutral tone. And if that's you, I think these shades will work for you as well. If you're someone who does like more of a warmer blush shade, you like something that's going to have more of a pop of color, even with a very light application, and you're around the tan shade, I would definitely say go for Dream Pop or Peach Pop. Especially if you have more of a warmer undertone, I think these two shades here will be the most complimentary for you. In terms of the wear and longevity, so when I applied these to my face in the demonstration that you already saw, I did apply them on my hand first. So just to take you kind of through the application, knowing that they had that squishy top, that squishy applicator, I knew I was gonna get a ton of product right away. So I took the wand, dabbed the product on the back of my hand, and I sheared it out sort of with my finger and my brush before applying it to my face, because I didn't want to apply too much, and I wanted to see how movable this product was, how blendable it was. So I wanted to work with a smaller amount and then build to my liking. So I do feel like it is probably better to either apply them on the back of your hand, especially if you're someone who doesn't like a lot of blush. If you are okay with blush, then maybe start with one dot on the face and then blend from there. But this is definitely not one of those products where you just want to be dotting all over the face and then blend, because you might get too much blush and it may not be what you would like. These do set pretty quickly. Now, not quickly to where you've got to like put it on and then rush to blend it out, but this is definitely not a product that you're going to want to put on, go, you know, take some clothes out the laundry, wash some dishes, come back, and then think you have time to blend, because these do actually set. I'll insert a clip where I showed you what all four of the shades look like on the back of my hand after they had sat there for a while and dried. And you see me rubbing my hand quite vigorously across Dream Pop, so you can see how they adhere to the skin. Now, after like really rubbing it against my hand, I did of course pick up Dream Pop, and then I rubbed lightly against Peach Pop, so you can see like they're really going to stick to the skin. And I was really shocked too when I showed you all my fingers. You didn't see any of the color of Dream Pop or Peach Pop on my fingers, even though I was rubbing Dream Pop and like breaking it apart. So these blushes, I'll speak on this side because I do have Charlotte Tilbury on this side. They do stay on, like they adhere to the skin. They're gonna dry down to a nice matte finish. I'm pressing my cheek here and my cheek does not feel sticky. It doesn't feel dry though. It doesn't feel like a powdery dry. It just feels like my skin. And I even applied these to the eyes, and I'll insert a clip of me applying them to the eyes as well. My eyes are dry. I didn't feel the need to set my eyes or anything like that. And this formula is quite buildable. So what I do like about the formula and the pigmentation is that you can get a more intense pigmentation kind of straight away based upon the amount of dots you apply on your hand, or you know how much you put on your brush, and then apply to the face. I would suggest to get more pigmentation. This is what I noticed when I was applying them. When you put the first layer on, let it dry. Then put your second layer on. If you don't let it dry, I noticed that the intensity is not going to be as much when that first layer has not set and dried. So that would be my recommendation for these blush beauty wands, to let that first layer dry. Doesn't take long at all. Charlotte says that they dry in a matter of seconds. I would say like give it a minute and it'll be ready to go. By the time you're done blending out the other side, you're probably ready to go and blend out that second layer or third layer on the first side. So I would say these would be very long lasting as they are claiming to be. You've got a really beautiful finish, and I do feel like my pores are nice and blurred in this area. So I'll come in close. I have more pores in this area of my cheeks, right here and here. And looking like right here where the blush is, I do feel like my pores are blurred. Just so you know, I'm wearing the Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. I did not put a primer underneath my foundation in terms of a mattifying or pore filling primer. I also did not set my foundation with powder because I really wanted the blushes to tell us how blurring they were, and powder could do that for us. So I just applied the blushes on my foundation directly. In the clip where I'm showing you the demonstration of the Beauty Light Wands, I did go ahead and apply the Universal Balm powder to my skin just to kind of set it a little bit. And so I applied the Beauty Light Wands on top of that, just so you know what was on my face. I didn't have anything else though on my face. Okay, so now let's compare these Beauty Light Wands to Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder Flushed. Okay, so I think these products are absolutely amazing. I'm already obsessed with them because I'm already obsessed with the Blurring Balm powder, okay? So give it to me in color and I'm like double obsessed. So I've already like had these for over a week. I use them all the time. I've used them on the eyes, cheeks, and lips. Like, I know these products very well. So I wanted to apply the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wands very similarly in the same fashion that I apply the Blurring Balm powders, so I can figure out, you know, are they very similar? Can they be applied the same way? And what do they look like? So straight away with the Blurring Balm powder flushed products, I noticed that we get more pigmentation if I'm applying the same amount as the product for Charlotte Tilbury. So I would say that these Blurring Balm powder flush products are more pigmented, which I'm not shocked because all of the products from D&B are going to be extremely pigmented, and you need very little of the product to get full-on pigmentation of the product. So I started off with the shade Prima Donna, and Prima Donna reminded me of the shade Dream Pop by Charlotte Tilbury. So I'll do a swatch of Prima Donna next to Dream Pop. So here is Prima Donna by Danessa Myricks. And looking at them, they look sort of similar. I would say that Prima Donna is going to have more of like a hot pink tone to it. Dream Pop, I would say it has more of almost like a berry tone to it. It's not as vibrant in its color. And then the other shade that I have that I thought was similar to one of the shades for Charlotte Tilbury is the shade called Bellini. This has that same kind of peachy tone, and I wanted to compare it to Peach Pop. So I'm gonna put Bellini right here. So here's Peach Pop, and then here's Bellini. And it looks like Bellini has more of like that coral tone to it, whereas Peach Pop is pulling, I would say, a little more peachy, maybe. Or does Peach Pop look more coral? Peach Pop might look a little more coral. They definitely, in my opinion, look more similar to each other than Prima Donna and Dream Pop. So if you're wondering, I did order the other 3 shades of the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products. So I can't wait to get those in. And of course, I will create, at the very minimum, a YouTube short showing you all what the other 3 shades look like against my skin. But, you know, only comparing these 2 products in terms of what I have, because they're the ones that shade-wise look similar to the Charlotte Tilbury products. So in terms of the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products, I feel like we have more pigmentation. They're definitely blurring on the face as well. These were specifically made so that anyone can wear them, whether you have textured skin, smooth skin, more mature skin. It was very intentional with the formulation that these products work not only for any skin type, but also for every complexion. And if you've watched any of the promo videos created for the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products, if you've seen the pictures on Sephora's website, you can see them on a range of skin tones, and they really do work for every complexion. Now, Charlotte Tilbury says that these Beauty Light Wands are going to be universally flattering for every complexion. And I would have to say that I see where Charlotte's going, okay? Now, I'm gonna be honest. Pillow Talk and Pink Pop, I would not put on my mother. My mother has a really beautiful chocolate-rich complexion, and I don't think these 2 shades would be complimentary on her. However, I can see someone with a deeper complexion wearing these if they like a very subtle blush, and also if they like cooler toned blushes. So I'm not gonna say that these are like universally flattering no matter what undertone you have, no matter what complexion you are, because I do think undertone matters, and if it doesn't look good against your undertone, then you're not gonna wear it. I would say that for the Blurring Balm Flushed Powder products, I think these are going to maybe err on the side of being more universally flattering, because the undertones of these products are not pulling so cool toned. They're pulling either warmer or more neutral, not so cool. So depending on your undertone, in theory, a product that is gonna lean more neutral, slightly warmer, is gonna be more complementary across a scheme of complexions than a product that's gonna be more neutral to cool. Because anything cool against a warmer complexion is not gonna be as complementary as something that is a little more warm against a cooler complexion. You can kind of finagle that a little bit better than you can on the other side of the spectrum. So I would say for the most part, I see where Charlotte was going when she said that these would be universally flattering, but I really do think you have to take into consideration your undertone and what types of blushes you like and how you like for your skin. Do you like for your blushes to be a little more warm, a little more cool, neutral? That will help you decide which one of these shades would be better for you. Now let's get in close and let's look at the cheeks to see which side we feel is looking more blurred, or are they looking as blurred identically. In close, we've got Blurring Balm Powder Flushed over here, and then the Matte Beauty Blush Wands. And I'm gonna say that I feel like this side of my cheek is looking more blurred than this side, but I will admit that I feel like we've got more pigmentation of color on this side, which might be leading to it looking a little more blurred. Because Charlotte Tilbury's beauty wands are not as pigmented as the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products, that could make it not look as blurred. What I'll do is I'll add just a little bit more of the peach pop here so we can see if we can see a little bit more of a blurred effect. But I will admit, these definitely do blur. Like, I was looking at my pores and I was like, I don't see them as much. Coming in close, I do think adding a little bit more of the Charlotte Tilbury product definitely helped to blur the cheeks a little bit more. What do you guys think? And in all honesty, I do think they both blur. And I do think they both blur very well, very well. I don't think either of these products will add or accentuate texture. I think if you're someone who doesn't really like blush, you don't like a lot of color of blush, but you're like, you know, I would like to add a little pop of color to the cheeks, but I don't want to add a lot. In all honesty, you really can't go wrong with either, because with the Blurring Balm Flush product, okay, I'm definitely sitting here with some pigmented cheeks, but if you dab your finger or your brush in here literally like one time and blend it out against the cheeks, it is going to be just the most flushed and complimentary look on the cheek, just like with the Charlotte Tilbury matte blush wands. As you saw from the application, like the initial application, my first round of putting it onto the cheeks, especially with Dream Pop, I just had a nice flush of color. Did I have my hands on here? You know what, I'm just noticing this looks a little patchy, and I was sitting here in a meeting like this, guys, so don't hold that against the blush. I just noticed that. That's not the blush's fault. It's my fault. But I was very impressed that even though this looks like a shade that might come out of the gate, you know, very vibrant, you can definitely control the application of the intensity of the Beauty Light wands. My suggestion though, like I said, either apply one dot, build to that intensity, or just put it on the back of your hand and then blend it that way before applying it to your cheek. Talking about them on the eyes, so I was putting these on the eyes, and after I put these on the eyes, I was kind of reading through how to apply them, and it said to avoid the eye area. So maybe the Charlotte Tilbury products are not the best thing to put around your eye, but I wanted to see, you know, if I'm comparing products, I want to see, can I use them the same way as I'm using, you know, these Blurring Balm Flush products. These are not marketed to be put on the eyes either, but you can put them on the lips. So I'm like, if it's safe to go near my mouth, I'm going to just assume it's also safe to go near my eyes. Maybe that's not the smart thing to assume, but that's what I did. And so some differences that I did notice if you were to experiment with these on the eyes is that I think that the Charlotte Tilbury side, and you can actually see it here, it definitely does not crease as much as the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed product is creasing. You see like a nice little crease there compared to basically no creasing on this side of the eyes. And like I said, when I first applied it, I think for the demonstration that you all saw, I had only put, if I could say, like one application of the product on my eyes. After I finished filming that first round, I did go back and add more of both of the products on the eyes so that I had a more intense look. So this is not obviously that first layer that you saw in the video. So just wanted to put that out there so you knew what I did. I did add another layer to have a little bit more intensity. But the thing about, at least with the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products and what I'm going to infer with Charlotte Tilbury, just from what I've been experiencing, if you were to wear these on the eyes, they're gonna last all day. I have worn the Blurring Balm Flushed Powder product on my eyes all through a work day. They last, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful monochromatic type of product, these flushed products. And I feel like you could do the same with Charlotte Tilbury. I probably, like I said, being that it says, you know, avoid the eye area, I won't be using these on the eye again. And I didn't put them on my lips because I'm like, if it's not okay to put on your eyes, I'm not gonna put it on the lips. So on my lips, I do have Prima Donna, and then I put Bellini in the middle, since these are marketed toward lips and cheeks. So overall, you guys, I'm very happy with both of these products. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of Dream Pop. And I love that with the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty wands, you can apply them with your fingers and blend them out. and you can also apply them with a brush. Same thing with the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products. My favorite application with these is honestly my fingers. And if you've been around for a hot minute, you know I don't like to do anything with my fingers. I prefer me a brush. Like, I'm a brush gal. But the heat from your fingers, your body temperature, really just melts the product in, and in literally a few taps, like, the product is blended and you're out the door. And I would say that with using my fingers, I did have to blend a little bit more with the Charlotte Tilbury product, but I'm not taking that away from the product, because when you read on Charlotte Tilbury's website how to apply it, it says to use a brush. So this formula is not necessarily made to use your fingers and have an effortless blend. I'm not saying that you don't get an effortless blend, because you saw it in action. You just saw me apply it. But I'm not gonna take something away from this because it's like, oh, it doesn't blend as easily with my finger. This is made to use with your fingers and a brush and a sponge. You can literally use any product to blend this in. I haven't tried a sponge with this product. I also haven't tried a sponge with this product, but I've seen this used with a sponge, and you can definitely blend it out with a sponge. I would assume you could use a sponge with this product, but because the application of the product is going to be just a little bit more light, I would probably stay away from a sponge and use either your finger or use a brush, just for more of a more intense application, unless you want more of like a diffused application. And here, you know, I'm not too proud to show you flaws. This is always good. So you saw me apply, you know, Peach Pop, right? Didn't let Peach Pop sit and dry. Do you see that? So, like I said, let the product dry. I thought it was dry, and it's not, and I'm literally making this worse. So I'm just gonna, so let the product dry. I'm gonna pause the cause for a moment, fix this, and come out and close out this video. So we fixed it enough to at least close out the video. So all in all, I really do like the Charlotte Tilbury matte blushed wands. I would say that if I were just having to pick a couple of shades, I would definitely stick with Dream Pop and a Peach Pop. If it were just based on how these looked on the skin. Pillow Talk and Pink Pop, like I said, I didn't necessarily like the cooler undertone of these on my skin. With Pillow Talk, I thought it was fine. Pink Pop, I was just kind of like, this looks really light. And in all honesty, it might just be the combination of the two. So like I said, I'm gonna definitely give at least Pink Pop another chance. But I don't think these are products where you need all of them, because of, like I said before, depending on your undertone, depending on the type of blushes that you like, you might not need them all because you may not use them all. Now, even though I don't have all of the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed products yet, because the other three are on the way, I do have these three, and I'm gonna say, and if you know me, I love Danessa Myricks. I'm an angel. Like, call me biased, because I'll put my own bias out there, but I'm actually taking my bias out of this statement that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna say that for these products, I really do think you could buy multiple shades of these and truly be happy with how they look against your complexion, because the undertones are going to be more complementary against a true plethora of complexions. I'll say that. If I had to pick between the Charlotte Tilbury's and the Flushed products, I'm going for the Flushed products. I just like the way this side looks. I am a blush gal. I love my blush to speak. I want you to see it, and I want it to stay as intense as possible throughout the day. And with this product, it's so easy to use. I don't have to wait for these necessarily to dry to then apply another layer. If I want to add another layer, I can blend it out, continue to add. And so far of using these, I've never seen patchiness from, like, if I could say over applying or over blending. I love that they look beautiful on the lips. They look beautiful on the eyes. Like, this is just a no-fail product. I've had a minimum of 2 of these in my purse for almost a week now, because I mean, they're bigger than your average like lip product, but like I can use them for anything. And I've put them on bare skin without makeup. I've put them on top of makeup. So these are my product of choice. However, I don't take away from the beauty of these matte blush wands. I think Charlotte Tilbury did an amazing job with these, and I really do think that it's a solid product. I'm happy to have them, and like I said, I'm glad that I have learned a learning curve so that I can share that with you. This side obviously now is not looking as flawless as it was before because of the glitch that we did experience together. But like I said, apply the amount that you want to apply. If you want to build the intensity, let that first layer dry, go in, build the intensity, and you'll be good to go. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Which side do you like better? Let's not pay attention to the hiccup, but before the hiccup, are you team Charlotte Tilbury? Are you team Danessa Myricks? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.